what's up everyone? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm trying to record this twice with no luck. So here we go again. What up? This is Gargamel Gandolfini. Some people know me as Ultron, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my munitions loadout. Now, I'm sure some people say theirs is better. Maybe it is. I don't know. I do know I usually don't lose with this loadout. What's great about it is it's not power hungry like a lot of the other ones, and I use the same loadout for ads and for bosses, and I don't see much of a difference with it. Now we'll go ahead and get started now. I'll kind of show you what I got here. So we'll go ahead and start with my mods, and again, this is my first time doing this, so I appreciate, at least helpful feedback. No reason to be rude, but yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and show you what I got for mods. I've got Supercharged Neo Venom Boost for my head, Escalating Might. I got Berserker for my back. A lot of people use Mini Nuke and put it there. I'm one of the very few people that doesn't use Mini Nuke. I'll explain why in a minute. I use Chest Socket. I use Core Strength. And sometimes I use Supercharged Generator. Neo Venom Boost is a nice bit of damage for a little bit, but I've kind of been switching in and out, and I notice, you do a little bit more damage like this, and I don't base my what I'm going to do off a Supercharge, you know what I mean? So I kind of keep it there. Every once in a while I'll switch it out, depends on the scenario. Now, Restorative Chain Gun, I use that for my legs. Obviously, I use Chain Gun. Nice to get a little bit of health back. Tumbling Master, wow, what a great mod. I'm so glad they came out with it. It's awesome. Get out of the way of stuff really quick. Hands, I use max damage. Now, if I did not have my Solar Amplifier to 200, I would absolutely put Empowered Channeling in, and the reason why is because there's nothing worse than being munitions and constantly getting interrupted. I noticed once I started using Empowered Channeling, my damage was significantly better, since for whatever reason, bosses, ads seem to love targeting me when I'm attacking them. So again, I'd strongly recommend, if you do not have your Solar Amplifier up, to go ahead and put Empowered Channeling in. If you don't agree, if you're in a raid, you have a decent tank, you're not worried about it, so be it. But in general, I definitely have Empowered Channeling in. Alright, so let's go ahead. My arts, we'll go ahead. You know what? Let's go to traits first. We'll show you what I got. So I go down to, we'll start with skimming, and yes, I use skimming. I know a lot of OP players don't use it. I kind of explain why in a minute, but my main reason is I hate love skimming. I hate super speed. I don't like it. It's clumsy for me. I know it's great in a raid if you need to pick somebody up. So yes, I do suffer from that, but in general, I like skimming. It's my movement mode of choice. So the only reason I even go in here, you really don't have to, but I like doing the stun resistance and the stun recovery. Again, it's not needed. I just like the little bit of advantage. I have plenty of skill points, so I just say, you know what, let's put it in there. I'm not really sure why I have Gale in here. I guess that was part of my old loadout. Alright, probably could get rid of that. Anyway, if I go up for weapons, I don't really have anything in there. I just use hand blasters. Don't really use it for anything. Don't need it. Iconic powers. Heat Vision is a huge part of my loadout. It's amazing. Robot Sidekick I use, and then I use Neo Venom Boost. Neo Venom Boost is amazing for precision or might. It's a great one. And I'm glad they got that head mod for power back on it now. Alright, let's go over to my stat points. Now again, I have quite a bit of skill points. You don't need 500 skill points to be good with munitions. I do recommend at least having at least 3, probably 330, 350. Plus a lot of people don't take you seriously unless you do have that, which makes sense, right? So super powered is what I pick. I go down to critical attack chance, pretty obvious, critical attack damage, and then I go ahead and do might and power, the rest into health. Now I have another loadout I did where I did do some dominance in there, and it kind of seemed like I stunned people more. I don't know if it's realistic or not, or maybe I was just paying attention more when I did it, but I've just kind of left this one the same, so I just put it into health. I keep a couple extra skill points at all time just in case I need to grab something for any reason, which is nice, right? Alright, let's go ahead. We're going to go over to my arts real quick, kind of explain what I got. Alright. Hey, what's up? Shout out to, I think I'm saying it right, Drovanik. He kind of encouraged me to keep going with this and make the video, so thanks, buddy. Good player, too. So solar amplifier, all my arts are going to be 200, which is an advantage. It is, let's be honest. Having your arts up there, skill points don't matter as much as power and arts. You know, they made the revamp. It's supposed to be more skill point based, which it was for a very brief time, and then they brought arts. So again, if you have your arts up, you have a pretty good idea of how much damage you can really do. Strategist card, oh my god, when it's at 200, I didn't know this at first. Somebody kind of pointed out to me the damage is just nuts. Transformation card, all those little crits. I'm constantly doing damage with munitions, right? You got chain gun, you got railgun in my loadout, which I'll get to in a minute. So you're constantly getting those little crits all the time. So again, you don't have to have it all the way up to 200 to be effective. The strategist card, let me rephrase that. Strategist card at 200 is optimal. Like, I would really recommend, if you're going to have anything in my loadout, I would have that strategist card up to 200. The little ticks it does at about 12,000 if it crits is amazing. Especially if you're in like elite or anything like that, where they don't just burn in 2 seconds. When you see those crits popping, it's amazing. Alright, let's go over to my loadout here quick. Alright, so go up to my loadout. So I use heat vision as my first. Very simple loadout. Again, it's so simple, it's just crazy. Chain gun, railgun. I use robot sidekick. I use a shield. Yes, I'm a DPS that uses a shield. I'll explain why in a minute. And then neo venom boost. So again, if my heat vision is all the way up, so or my artifact is solar amplifier, and it's a huge part of it. So it starts my PI off when it explodes, so anything by it is going to catch on fire, right? A lot of people do 10-second parsers. This is going to be my mini rant, then I'm done. I don't really understand why everybody uses 10-second parsers. I think I always do 30 when I test my loadout. I think 30 makes more sense, because when you do 10, you'll see a lot of numbers fluctuating a lot. 30, it's pretty consistent, because you'll see, some of the things that hit at certain times. But for this video, I'll do 10-second parsers. Maybe in the future I won't, if I even do a future one. Who knows? I think I just whistled there. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you on my three-player here, three-person targets. I usually always stay at the exact same spots. That way I can always test the loadout. So let's go ahead and do it. 10-second parsers. So watch, when it explodes, look at that. Your PI starts. A little bit more damage. Now look at those white numbers when they show up. 12,000. Look at that. Amazing. So on these, on 3, I usually get around, I don't know, 60, 70. Sometimes I'll crit up at 70. Sometimes I get like 58. You know what I mean? But the more I do it, you kind of see. I'll just do a few rotations. You'll see it. Again, I think it hits really decent, and especially like sparring targets aren't always 100% accurate, especially when you're in raids and you're constantly hitting those numbers are constantly coming up. But you can see I usually do around the same every time. You're in the 60s. Oh, that's a terrible one right there. Look at that. Oh, I just skipped one. I don't know why. Alright. Let's give it a sec. Alright. Usually I never fuck up that. But, alright. So, here we go again. Start it over. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to. Do you see my power? Never lose power, man. I'm always regenerating it. That's why I stopped using mini nuke. One of the reasons. There you go. 70k. Nice. And one of the reasons I use I stopped using mini nuke, power. It takes so much power. And also, by the time you're waiting for it to hit, right? You're sitting there dropping it. I'm already starting my moves. Look at all these moves I'm doing right now. Is it dramatically different? No. But I've done a lot of testing, and I mean a lot. And I notice every once in a while, when I drop mini nuke, I will get a higher number, but I consistently get higher numbers when I'm doing the loadout I'm using now. It's so simple. I kind of went old school back before revamp. When you used to use munitions back in the day, all the numbers were about the same. Or you only use 3 powers, right? That's how I did it. So I kind of went old school and went back with that. And I hope that made sense. And I'll go ahead and do a single target here. Usually I do around 30, 40. Just depends. Again, 10-second parsers. I don't understand saying that I always use 30, but I know for video's sake, people are going to see the 10. So I'll go ahead and do it. So you see here, look at those almost crits happen, right? They're amazing. keep going here a little bit. So I love munitions, man. I use the same loadout for ads, for bosses, and the damage is amazing. Like, oh man, when that strategist card, look at that, crits, it's perfection, right? So you can see, like I said, every once in a while it'll pop at about 40,000, but doing pretty consistent damage on this. When you're in raids, especially in elites and everything, you will see pretty dramatic numbers because, you know, the ads are getting wiped out super fast. And again, I don't lose very often in DPS. I'm not saying I win all the time. There's a lot better players than me, don't get me wrong. But especially with this loadout, I seem to do extremely well, and I don't lose very often. And when I do, it's not by a lot. I usually don't get embarrassed. There we go. So there's some decent crits here. I'm going to run over to where we do a lot of ads quick, because I want to keep this video within 15 minutes, because I honestly don't know how to record everything yet. So, I'm going to go ahead and pick him. This sometimes it's usually around 80k or excuse me, 75k up to, I get up to 100k sometimes in 10 seconds. It's just nuts. But you know, again, if you look at those white numbers popping up there, when they crit, when they're all critting at 12, it's just insane. I feel like I'm lagging a little bit, but not too bad. So 80. So yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So again, the reason I like this is I don't use mini nuke. I see some people using 50 cal, and if you think you need the mini nuke, great, use it. If you're beginning out, not much skill points, not much power, there we go, there's some decent ones. Make sure, you can also do 50 cal, like I was saying. It does decent amount of damage, and it doesn't take nearly as much power as mini nuke. But yeah, as you can see, when those things are critting for 11, 12, oh, it's beautiful to watch. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm thinking about maybe making a lower tune with munitions, kind of starting out with my loadouts, seeing how it plays out. If you guys are interested, let me know. I'm also going to run a raid tonight, I'm thinking. I can kind of show you the damage I do. Or if you guys need help with like raids, alerts, feeds, man, I love helping people with that kind of stuff. I'm not a patient man though. I don't want to sit around waiting forever. I like to get in, I like to get shit done. And again, this is my first video. I know people ask me for my munitions loadout a lot. Last night when I was streaming, somebody was asking me for mine, and I'm like, you know what? I usually keep it pretty tight. But I'll go ahead and share it. I said, why not? You know, if it helps people out, gets, you know what I mean, gets munitions out there. Munitions is a stable power, man. It hits hard, and look how simple my loadout is. Look at it. It's so easy to do. And it's just, yeah, I love munitions. It's my favorite one to use. It has been for years now. This guy's always been munitions, so feel free to add me. I'm Gargamel Gandolfini. A lot of people know me as Ultron. Yeah, so I appreciate you watching, and if you want more, ask. If you don't want more, go ahead and tell me that too. Like I said, I'm bored right now. I don't have a whole lot going on this game. I'm only missing a handful of feats that I gotta wait for Valentine's Day for, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. That's about all I got. So I appreciate it, guys, and thanks. If you have any other questions or anything, feel free to send me anything. So, and I wouldn't mind you following me. That'd be all right too. Yay! All right, have a good one, guys. Appreciate it.